speaking of that, I think this is a perfect segue to what we want to bring up, to the video that I just put up, recent video.
Aha, the blackface thing.
Yeah, the blackface thing. Okay, now, I just came back from the Netherlands. I was in the Netherlands doing comedy, and shout out to Comedy Vibes, my friend Roger. My friend Roger, who is from Suriname, does great shows he's from Eindhoven. He says Eindhoven, we did Eindhoven, Rotterdam, and we did some shows, I think Delft too, and and Amsterdam. So we did some great shows, Comedy Vibe, he's an up-and-coming promoter. And if you're in Amsterdam, and I know you motherfuckers in the Netherlands are gonna watch this video, because there's a thing that they do in the Netherlands. It's around Christmas. Well, we have the December 25th Christmas shit, Santa Claus. And he has his elves and his helpers, right? Santa Claus. Well, in the Netherlands, December 5th, they do this thing where it's called Sinterklaas and Zwarte Pieten. Zwarte meaning black, and Pieters are the helpers. So it's this Santa Claus, and I hope you show a picture of this shit. Mm-hmm. And it's a white Santa Claus with a stick, and he has these black helpers. Blackened faces with afros.
With afros.
See what I'm saying?
Huh.
Pink lips. The people that are black in Amsterdam are from Suriname, Curacao, Caribbean islands, whatever. I may not name all of them, but the black people, the black Dutch folks, So they have been protesting this shit, but they feel outnumbered because a lot of times European blacks, I think a lot of times they're really silenced very well in Europe. They're silenced when they're trying to complain. They're not like American blacks. We'd be like, fuck that shit, Because motherfuckers, you'll get your ass whooped in a Popeye's chicken like my man got his ass whooped calling people niggas, and they beat the chicken sandwich out this motherfucker. They whooped his mother. They beat the Chipotle sauce out this mother. Because, for some reason, not every white person, but some white people are getting bold. They just niggering it up now, and we beating the fuck out you. You getting Timberland to fuck up like Nas said. See, police can't come to every fight. That's the one thing you got fucked up. We are and black people, we're pretty fast. We're very fleet of foot, as one old white man would say. So the beautiful thing is you can fuck people up. You can knock a motherfucker out and run off and be all right. So police can't get to everything. So people are the Dutch, the white Dutch, are saying, what is wrong with what we're doing? It's tradition. See, it was tradition to hang black men in the South. It was tradition to throw up your fucking Confederate flags. It was tradition to segregate. It was tradition for. That's what's tradition. Whenever it's shitting on black people, demeaning and doing derogatory shit, it's fucking tradition. You know what I mean? So, and then they say too that people in the Caribbean celebrate it too. So black people are putting on black. But hold on, that's from brainwashing and European colonization, because black people in New York, in America, black comedians, shout out to Burt Williams, who was one of the first black comedians on film, who was a Caribbean man, light-skinned, but had to put on blackface because they made us put on blackface. It was a law for comedians, black comedians, to put on blackface. You had to. And some Jewish comedians, Al Jolson, they put on blackface. But white comedians did it because it was just their choice to, demean black people. Amos and Andy was white dudes doing blackface, talking like doing that coon shit. But shout out to Stepin Fetchit, to Willie Best, to Mantan Moreland. These are comedians that came before us. Pigmeat Markham, Slappy White. These are, all, and until we had the Red Foxes and the Timmy Rogers and the George Kirbys. I'm trying to throw in some history because these are the black comedians that came before us and had to suffer for us to be where we are.
Wait, Amos and Andy were white?
Amos and Andy, there were a black couple, and then there was the white. Yeah, they were white dudes.
Okay, because I just looked up Amos and Andy.
Look up Amos and Andy, check and double check.
And these guys came
The
up.
Amos, but look at the white version, Amos and Andy.
Oh, there's a white
There's
Amos
a
and
white
Andy
Amos and
and
Andy.
a black Amos and
Look,
Andy.
look up Amos and Andy, white version of Amos and Andy. You'll see what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Check and double check is a famous, and I had a videotape of that because I had to watch that shit. And they go, well, hello, I say there. Yeah. And they did that on the cartoons like Tom and Jerry, Bugs Bunny. They did all that cooning shit, made fun of Asians, made fun of a lot. But they were, Bugs Bunny was funny as fuck. Tom and Jerry was funny, but it was very, very racist. Very racist shit. You know, when a bomb would explode, they make you blackface, and they would start talking. You know, they would have pickaninny. You know what the pickaninnies are? Yeah. The pickaninny. They did that in the cartoons in the 40s because it was white men who didn't give a fuck about black people, and the racism was real. In Tom and Jerry, there's the character of the black woman with no head, and she goes, "Thomas, you better come here, Thomas." Oh yeah, it was the black mammy shit. That's what they did, and that was derogatory.
Oh yeah, I mean when you look at, for example, like the old Mickey Mouse cartoons.
Sure.
Like well, not the Mickey Mouse, but the Disney cartoons.
Yeah.
Like Three Little Pigs.
Yes.
Like for example, there was like a Jewish caricature, like the wolf dressed up like a caricature Jewish guy trying to sell stuff.
Sell stuff.
Yeah.
They got everybody.
Yeah.
And anytime they would, you know, there was the coon dancing. There's a coon. They would advertise entertainment back in the slave days. They had a coon picture of a coon. Like Jack Johnson was painted, you know, the famous heavyweight boxer from the past. They painted him like a coon with the white lips. They used to do big vaudeville in this fucking city. Early 1900s. They would do vaudeville, blackface. They would have blackface shows. Shirley Temple did blackface. They all did blackface. Oh yeah, you can see it. They all did blackface. This was part of Hollywood. Blackface. That's why when we talk about the cooning thing now, we're trying to get away from that. And when we see that shit, we go, fuck. That's why I try to make it, this is my style. I try to make it important to be intelligent. It's okay to be intelligent. The cooning shit, we don't put on the blackface, but we don't have to have the impression of blackface. And like I said, everybody's style is different. I ain't the end all be all to comedy. But my style is I'm gonna be the smartest motherfucker in the room, whether you like it or not. So I made this video, and and one more thing, black comedians had to, it was against the law to be a solo performer. You could not talk to a white audience as a black person like we do now. It was against the law. You need to read this book. It's called On the Real Side, The Laughing, Lying, and Signifying, The History of African American Humor from Slavery to Richard Pryor. I read that shit in college. Every comedian needs to read that shit. White or black, or Latin, you need to read that book. So we had to talk in dialogue with blackface. The cork, we had to, or you would be killed.